we're about to tell you what we want, what we really, really want. Stay tuned for our UK Drag Race recap in just a few.
I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
I was like, is this a new song?
It's just got more pizzazz onto it.
I was hoping for Spice Girls, but we'll take this.
Hi, all. I'm your host, 123 Jackie B. This is my Victoria Beckham Posh Spice inspired look, and now I have to take off these sunglasses because it's driving me nuts in here. As with me, as always, Mark J. Freeman.
Hello, Bitter Spice here.
And Ollie Dreamer.
Dreamer Spice, you know. I'm so upset that we're not in character and Jackie is in character. She looks amazing as Posh
I would be
Spice.
like Weirdo Spice, I guess.
I'm Bitter Spice every day. I don't know what you're talking about.
Jayla's not here because, unfortunately, she was in a car accident, but she's okay. It's just that her back hurts and she's in a lot of pain right now. So please send her some love on
Speedy
YouTube
recovery,
and
absolutely.
yes,
We love you, Jayla.
Love you, Jay.
Shout out to everyone who is joining us in the chat room right now. We love that you guys are tuning in live. There's Andrew Lestrange, Almando Herrera, Diva Views,
Nine-Tail Phoenix,
Ken.
I was gonna say
me,
Jordan.
Mark.
I don't count.
You wrote a lot.
There's another one. Oh yeah, Lil Ankh.
Me and
Lil
Andrew
Ankh.
were having a little convo before we got started. So.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. What did you guys think of the episode? I love the Snatch Game. I thought it was a blast.
Yeah, I loved it. I'm really enjoying the season personally.
That's all you have to say.
I
love it.
We'll get more into it.
Yeah.
I don't need to delve into it right away.
I was gonna be like, Jayla, I'm not even gonna be here today, so I'm happy I'm here because this episode was the best episode by far from the season. Obviously, it's Snatch Game, and this is like a Snatch Game that we want from the U.S. like seasons, but this was such a good Snatch Game. I can't even remember the last time there was this good of a Snatch Game.
Yeah.
Almost even the people who weren't necessarily funny, they had a funny moment at least they showed. So it was really cool, and it's like sad seeing the cast get smaller and smaller because you really do fall in love with each one of them.
I know, it's so true. But I think it was Baga who said that like in England, a lot of what they do is like comedy queens and like skits and stuff like that. So they're more trained to do this.
You're right.
So I can see why everyone was
pretty good.
So good, you know. Yeah. Even the people who were quote unquote bad were still good.
Yeah.
You know. So as always, we give a fan shout out, fan of the week at the end of the episode. If you comment on iTunes or on YouTube, we will give you a fan shout out. So keep that in mind, please. Comment, rate, like, subscribe. 5 stars. Well, you know what? Even if you shade us and give us 5 stars, we will read that review.
Yes, please.
Yes.
We have no shame.
Go for it.
We have no shame. No shame. So in the workroom, we had what we usually have on a Snatch Game episode, which is the, oh my gosh, we both have the same character.
That was,
I was like, are we really doing this? I mean, what I don't get is...
That's some kind of drama, you know.
I know, and it turned out that Davina had brought several other characters, and at the beginning she was like, oh, I'm doubling down, and I'm like, you guys, everybody has to be ready to have multiple characters, and they've seen multiple seasons of this, so they know it. So it's got to be whoever's like producing it be like, no, really double down on this until like you actually pick your character. So
well, it sounded like Baga didn't really have any other option. So
I know.
To come and only have one was kind of...
I know. And then Davina did something that we see happen on Drag Race all the time, which is she gave Baga her outfit to be able to do Margaret Thatcher.
Which was very nice of her.
And Baga was one of the winners of the challenge. And we've seen that time and time again where, like, people will help sew or people will, you know, like, help someone in, like, with outfits or whatever. And it turns out they're undermining their own competition. And then that came back in the... mini Untucked within the episode where Davina realized this is a competition, I should not be doing this, and I knew it the minute she was doing it. I was like, ugh.
Also,
I know you want to be friends, but it's a competition.
Yeah.
Also, I really am bummed she did not do Posh Spice. But I'm happy you're doing Posh Spice, Jackie. I wanted to see that. Would have been perfect because obviously Jerry was in this episode, Ginger Spice. And that would have been just perfect.
Right.
No one else did a Spice Girl. I was really surprised. I wanted a Spice Girl. I'm very upset.
You could have literally done any of the Spice Girls.
Absolutely.
Any of them. And it would have been a blast,
And also, Jerry looked amazing.
She looked so good.
How?
She looked so good.
So good.
Yeah.
Yes, in the chat room, yes, Jackie's wearing a wig. Unless you're talking about my hair. It is not a wig.
No, I don't have a fucked up haircut. So Alan Carr and RuPaul come into the workroom and they're kind of counseling everyone. We had Davina she was thinking of doing Posh Spice, she was thinking of doing Maggie Thatcher, and then she ends up doing Julia Child, which I was a little bit disappointed when it came to the actual Snatch Game, because I feel like there is so much available with Julia Child. I mean, her voice is wild. Her natural voice is just wild. So you can lean into that. You can lean into kind of maybe you could do some cooking shticks while you're doing it. I always feel like somebody should bring in some sort of chicken where they're sticking their hand up its butt or something like that, you know? Yeah. There's a lot of visual gags that could happen with that, and I just felt bad because I could see her spinning her wheels out behind the scenes.
Yeah, I just don't think you should do Julia Child. It's kind of like Beyonce, because whenever you just don't do it. Milk did her before, and so when we were trying to do a character someone's already done, it's like a cursed character. Just don't do it. Don't do Kim Kardashian. But yeah, I was bummed because Davina is the actor of the group, so I was really upset that she was just outshined because of that decision to not do her first pick.
Right.
Because that is tough. You don't want it, because then if she were to do Margaret, then she would be compared to not only everyone else, but she'd be more compared to the other person, Baga, doing Margaret. So it's I understand where she's come from and why she switched. And it was nice for her to give her the outfit. So,
but it was also weird to me with some of the people, Julia Child is an American, so it was, I was like, if maybe the accent was was getting into her mind, even though her accent is just a nonsense voice. She's like, so I was kind of thinking maybe that's what, she let that get into her head or something, and if she had been doing a Brit, it would have been better for her. And I kind of felt the same, which was wild because Crystal is not, she's Canadian, so she has an American accent, but she can't do the American Southern accent. Yeah. And so I was like, well, if you're gonna pick a character that on television does this Southern accent, why would you do that? Yeah. Why not pick somebody that comes a little bit more easy to you? And then we had to contrast it, we had Cheryl do somebody who was from Essex, and Cheryl's from Essex, so she was able to kind of play her own shtick, as it were, and that's why it worked. It's okay, well, you got to be in the middle of the batch because you were still doing your shtick, which, you know what, if it takes that to survive, then you should do that to survive. So.
Yeah, I was happy she did good, even though Cheryl's character, I was just thinking Cheryl. Is that what you're kind of saying? Well, for me, I just saw Cheryl. I didn't see who she was playing.
Well, it's because as I understand it from my British friends, and I'm happy for you guys to correct me if I'm wrong, but Essex is sort of like the Jersey Shore of England, and so it's these people that have kind of a very distinctive accent. They're very dolled up but messy at the same time. So, and apparently Cheryl's from there, or I don't get if she's she's there, or if she just plays her characters from there.
Gotcha.
That part was not clear to me because she's doing a take on Cheryl Cole, who is from there, and so I'm I don't know if you're from there and that's why you're doing that, or you're just doing that because it's easy to do. But so she picked a different character who is from Essex, essentially. Gotcha. Which is, to me, it's fine. If that's what your strong point is and you can make it funny, then why not?
You thought it was funny?
I did think it was funny.
You didn't think it was funny?
I thought she was Cheryl.
With
long fingernails.
Well,
No,
I mean, but Cheryl is
I
funny
agree. I thought,
to me.
I completely agree with both of you guys. Anyways,
I just felt like I was like, I'm just gonna put on this big hair and I'm gonna do me with long nails. I don't know who she is, so it's like and especially then they always say this. It doesn't have to be somebody we have to know, but when it's done, I want to go. Oh, I want to Google that person. I want to know who that is.
Right.
I didn't care to know who that was. I just thought it was Cheryl.
Well, it's she's playing Gemma Collins, who's like a reality TV person who does like a show about Essex. So it's like it's all the same.
So Cheryl
shtick, yeah. It's like Cheryl.
She played herself.
A version of herself.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like me going on Snatch Game and playing Lorraine Love.
It's not that close.
Pretty much. Just saying.
I would do in Snatch Game. I wouldn't do Lorraine. I would do Mark. I would do such
You'd
a good Mark.
You'd be a younger, thinner.
I would
Lorraine.
be such a good Mark. You could do me. You do Ollie. I'll be Mark.
I'll be bloated Ollie.
It would be a really good Snatch Game.
I would do Joan Rivers. Like, hands down, it still has shocked me to this day that no one has done
That
Joan
is very
Rivers.
shocking.
Like, I'm
Wow.
like, I think because she had such a, like, good sense of humor, I think she wouldn't care that, like, she's dead and you're making fun of her. She would love that, you know?
Someone's, it's definitely the Jersey Shore of England.
Oh, great. Thanks.
Definition of chav.
There we go.
She's from Essex, yeah. Chavs are hilarious. All right. Yeah, it says, they also said Gemma is an icon here, and she was nothing like her, really, is what little Anka. Anka
Nice.
says.
Thank you.
I'm guessing little Anka is from London.
But I also don't think you have to necessarily be like that person. So, like, Blue did Mary Berry, and Mary Berry isn't... I mean, she was kind of like a little bit prim like Mary Berry is, but I mean, Mary Berry obviously does not say any of those things, and the reason it was hilarious is because Mary Berry doesn't say those things. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe she's saying that.
But it was
Mary
funny.
Berry. Yeah.
I didn't think Cheryl was funny.
I
thought she had some witty lines, but was it like, over the top hysterical? No, by no means was it. And again, I don't know who she is. I don't know who Gemma is. I don't know anything about her, but that's my opinion.
So Baga was Maggie Thatcher as a vampire, I wrote, because, like, I love that she did this makeup.
Did she have contacts in at one point? That was insane.
She did this makeup where it literally looked like Maggie Thatcher as a vampire, which I was like, you know what? To a lot of people.
About Baga?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
To a lot of people, Maggie Thatcher pretty much like was a vampire, so it works. I thought it was really funny. And then Vivian was Trump, and I agreed with who was it that, like, Michelle or somebody said this at the end where they said they wanted to see like a sketch show with Vivian being Trump and Baga being Maggie Thatcher.
Yeah. I mean,
I thought that was funny.
Those are our top two. Let's be real. Just they killed the Snatch Game, and like I was literally laughing out loud at Vivian as Trump. And
here's a contrast to the other people. So Vivian was being Trump, who is an American. Again, like, he has like a weird accent thing going on that is like made up for himself. So he has it could go either way. Like, you could do like a really spot on good impression of him, or something that's so silly that it's good, or you could like royally mess it up. And so
royally.
Yeah, royally. So I thought Vivian did a great impression of Trump. I thought it was like,
it was good,
spot on impression.
Blue should have been in the top though.
Yeah, it was weird.
I didn't understand why they stopped her before she went off stage to tell her how hilarious she was, and her runway was hands down the best. Brilliant.
Yeah, it was.
She should have won the entire thing. Adding the runway and thing together, because Baga and Vivian on the runway were useless. So, hands down, that should have been Blue Hydrania's episode.
It was perfect.
Hands down,
it was perfect. It was a perfect setup for that too, because she's not the comedy queen. She's just the look queen apparently. But no, she has the comedy chops as well.
I thought she nailed
and coming from the bottom, like she had been in the bottom, like not last episode, but the episode before that.
She was safe last week. Yeah.
And then Something Wong did David Attenborough. I mean, it was really sweet that that Jerry came to her at the end and, said, like, I really enjoyed it and I think this was great. But to me, David Attenborough is another one of those people where it's hard to make him funny, because he a former BBC executive who does a lot of voiceovers for like nature movies. So like if you go on Netflix and see like Blue Planet, it's his voice narrating it. So I mean, I don't know, unless you're like really leaning heavily into that, and her voice didn't, I mean, it's like it's a very distinctive voice, and her voice didn't really sound any like too close to it at all. So it was, I was like, I just don't get this. I don't get it. It was not funny. I
don't have anything to say. It was just kind of like, yeah.
And if you're gonna pick like an old British guy, like you could have. There were like literally there's so many British characters like Elton John, Russell Brand.
Maybe there's not that many.
No, there really are. There really are.
No, but there are. Yeah.
I didn't think she was bad. I thought she actually did really well. Again, I feel like it's when it's in the editing. You know, when somebody says something and you add the wah 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 over it, it's kind of telling you that's not funny. But if you watch it again and imagine those wah wah wahs as laughter and applause being added over what she's saying, I think you'll get a different impression of what she was doing. I didn't think she was bad. I thought for what the character she was playing, I mean, she probably could have gone further with like just like over the top boring, which whatever that would mean to you. But I didn't think she was bad. Personally, I would have put Cheryl and Crystal in the bottom. I didn't think Something Wrong deserved to be in the bottom for that.
Really?
She went, well, at least she did something. She changed her voice and she kind of embodied the character, whether it was funny or not. I would give that more points than somebody coming out and playing themselves, like Cheryl.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Somebody
that
in the
just,
chat room
is,
said if she had done Graham Norton, that would have been funny. Like the thing is, if you do, you know, it's like Sharon Needles doing Michelle Visage. It's like if you do one of the hosts, you better do it really well because like there have been people on the show who have like done the host and it's so bombed.
Yeah. Well,
you know,
was it? No, it was Alan Carr this week, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So Graham wasn't even there. So.
Anyway, so the runway was Weird Science, genetically modified drag queens. I don't know. Part of me wanted someone to reference the actual movie Weird Science, and with like the underwear on their head, and it never happened. So that was a little sad for me. Throwback to the 80s. Having a moment. Blue, I agree with you, Mark. That was my absolute favorite.
Hands down.
Then when everybody came out after her, I was like,
and like,
why did everybody have to come after Blue?
Even the reason behind it, to me, was genius. Absolutely. Like, it was just so flawless. It was really upsetting to see her be safe this week.
Sorry. Alan Rickman. Shout out to DVD
who
said that. That would have been amazing.
Oh my God. I love Alan Rickman. Yes. That would have been amazing.
Missed opportunity, absolutely.
I know. I just sort of blanked. And the guy from Love Actually who plays like the old musician guy. Like I keep forgetting that actor's name.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's like a really skinny old actor. Like,
I don't know.
He's very funny. Like he would have been great. You know, like there's so many people you could have done.
Yeah, no, I agree with you guys with Blue though. Going back to Blue, sorry. To me, when she first came out, I literally thought she was wearing a helmet. That's how good the makeup looked.
Yeah,
like it looked like just a helmet or some kind of mask.
Yeah.
But then when it zoomed in, I saw the detail, the eye, that was her face painted.
Yeah.
It was really majestic, and that was just the centerpiece of it. And like, I was really shocked that she wasn't in the top.
Yeah.
And then Bagga had to come out after that, and I was like, this outfit is just kind of like, it's okay. It's not like bad. It's not good. But coming after, when she came out after Blue, I was like, this looks so terrible to me because I loved Blue so much.
Yeah.
No.
But I was like,
I think
so
everybody
bad.
looked horrible compared to Blue.
What? I disagree.
I
Davina
liked
looked
Davina's.
majestic. She was probably honestly, I loved Blue, but I think Davina's was my favorite.
Davina's was nice
because she was like blue. She was blue.
She was like a new take on like the swamp thing.
Right.
I was like, this is like a beautiful, like wild, crazy swamp creature.
But I also don't think that didn't give me Weird Science. Like with Blue, I didn't feel like anybody else really nailed the Weird Science part of it. I actually didn't hate Something Wong's, and you know, again, if you're just sitting there listening to what they're telling you you're supposed to think and not think for yourself, then yes, it was a very basic costume and blah 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 blah, and it looks cheap, blah blah blah. at least she did, like, I got it. Like, it was, the face was removable. It was, like, I get it. She was like a cyborg. Like, it made sense. It didn't look bad. Okay, so the leotard came away from her back. Are we really going to have a discussion about this? And just because Michelle Visage doesn't like leotards, queens, doesn't mean you shouldn't wear them. Keep wearing them and keep wearing them on the fucking runway. Who gives a shit what she says? She's not changing the face of fucking drag because she doesn't like a fucking leotard. Sorry, I just said fuck too many times. Sorry, that's
the
it.
next
That's all
time
I
Miss
got.
Vanjie wears a leotard, I'm gonna play this back to you.
Well, no, but my thing is like, it's just annoying that she says it all the time. It's like, are drag queens never supposed to wear a leotard again, and never supposed to wear a leotard? Because we can go back and I'll start rewatching all the Hulu episodes and find somebody in a leotard who Michelle Visage liked, and I'll start adding those to Twitter and tagging Miss Visage in them and being like, hey, you want to take back what you said? Because I guarantee you there are times where she's going to like it. And I don't think you should generalize it in that way. It doesn't matter. Like, it's like saying, I don't like that you wear dresses all the time. Well, girl, that's what drag queens do.
I think with Something Wong, the reason I actually didn't like hers was because it seemed to be a mixed metaphor, because she's referencing a cyborg. So if you're going to do like a removable face like that, it should have like that cyborgy, stuff underneath it,
That would've been
instead
cool.
of like just your face.
Yeah.
So for me, that was a little weird, because I was like, okay, I thought when she removed the face, it was going to be like the cyborg.
That would've been cool.
Like wires
Yeah.
or something.
Again,
And then she's going around with the like syringe, like it's a plastic surgery reference. And so I'm like, well, you should have either made this a huge reference to like weird science, meaning like people who do too much like Botox or like changes to their body or whatever, or you should have gone full cyborg. So like it just seemed, I think to me that's what got a little muddled in there. And there are people who have done in the past really well that whole like the whole like Botox body dysmorphia kind of like theme in the past already. So, and they've done it really well. So I think that was another thing that I was thinking of when I saw that. But again, it wasn't so much like mad at the leotard. It was like, I was like, I'm not sure the concept is like.
But that's the thing.
Right.
If that's the issue, like I just feel like she just, as soon as you come out in a leotard, it's an issue. And it's like, stop it. Like, stop it. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous.
I think they just really wanted her to go home. Like, they just had to find any reason to get Something Wrong, because she doesn't have her storyline anymore. That's fine.
Absolutely.
Well, it's not fine. I love her. I think
know.
from far away, in her defense for her runway look, I thought her face looks so beautiful. Like, to me, she has one of the prettiest faces, like one of the most gorgeous faces, if you even just follow her on Twitter or Instagram.
I was just going to say that.
Beautiful. Something Wrong is so beautiful.
She recently put something on Instagram, and I was just like jaw drop. She looked absolutely gorgeous.
And I also got kind of like Britney vibes from it, because remember the music video?
That's totally what I
the
thought
red
of.
leotard,
Yep.
and like she's in outer space, so that's what.
Yeah.
So I definitely like loved that little. I don't know.
I wondered if that's why.
Yeah, I don't know if that was like in blonde hair, long. So I wasn't sure if that was like an actual reference from her, but
Yeah.
it was cute. It was sad. It's sad because it's also like compared to some of the other looks that have so much detail, like the Vivian's, which I liked it, but. I was more for Davina, and I don't know, Vivian. She did really good.
Let's talk about the Vivians, because I had a problem with hers when you're looking. So the problem is you have Davina doing this swamp creature that has like flowers growing off of her and these like weird bulbous things happening. So then when you see the Vivian, who has kind of like a similar concept, but it's just not done as well as Davina's, that's all that was playing in my head. Is like, I was like, well, I just wish this was Davina's outfit, because it's just not as good as hers.
You're like, crap. And the face stuff was dumb. Like, it was just like, I want to wear this. It was literally that moment where she found something and was like, I want to wear this for this. Okay, I'm going to make my nose look funny too, and that'll be my weird science. Like, no.
Well, what Michelle said, she's finally wearing prosthetics.
Yeah,
so that
exactly.
was pretty funny, even though I don't think she needed it.
I felt sad for her, though, because her run rates have been so strong.
I didn't feel sad, though, because I think it looked cool. It was interesting compared to some of the other... a lot of interesting looks, obviously, with this runway, but I didn't feel bad because she did so amazing in the Snatch Game, so...
we don't. Sorry, we don't have pics today.
Painted her face like an eyeball.
Yeah, someone in the chat room's asking.
She opened. It was like she came out with an eyelid over it, and then she opened it up, and you could see her face painted like an eyeball, and the whole
nude.
The whole nude. It
with
was like
red.
with the red. What I don't know what they're called, like capillaries or whatever. The stuff that comes out of your eyeballs, like they're veins, like because your eye is actually attached to like veins and shit in the back of your head.
Yeah.
So like the outfit was like a reference to like the veins at the end of an eyeball.
Yeah. She looked phenomenal.
Yeah. It was just amazing. And then
and Vivian's
Crystal
like
had
poo.
like a very Mad Max kind of outfit.
Who?
Crystal.
Oh yeah.
I was in the vein of like Jerry, a little bit terrified that she was going to like cut her crotch off or something.
How is that like passed by the producers? Like that seemed dangerous. I was surprised that the producers were like, go on, saw your vagina off.
I mean, she does say she does this in performances, so if there's something like where she can prove to the producers, like I'm insured for the purpose of performance or whatever.
I mean, Ivy Winters came out on stilts. You remember that? Mm-hmm. And who else? Someone else did something. Oh yeah, with the corset from Violet. So I guess
it was wild in the sense that I appreciated it for being something that I did really think of weird science. Like it was like something I'd never seen before, something like wholly original. But I did have that moment of terrified, like, please don't cut yourself.
Right. Poor little Jerry. I love Jerry. She was such a good judge too. I'm sorry, off topic. But they kept showing her and she was so interactive. And I think a lot of the guest judges are like being more interactive, where in the US there's like we get 2 guest judges a week. And they get like 2 minutes of screen time, not even. Or they don't get any screen time.
But I also think that, I mean, with the U.S. Drag Race, sometimes you'll have somebody who's like really well known, like Mel B from the Spice Girls. Right. And then sometimes you'll have somebody who I'm like, you're like somebody that's been on one show that I've never heard
That's
of.
another topic like that I hate, because the way they do the guest judges in the U.S. is also a way to promote. Like they just want them, if that person probably has an album coming out.
Right.
So
they're
it's
on there for
I hate it. It's like
purposes.
Get guest judges that actually want to be on Drag Race and give their critiques and just enjoy it because they're actual fans of the show. I think there's so many guest judges that are on the show just to promote something else, like to not really be there for the love of drag and the show and all that it stands for. Well, you can tell
this season they're in the UK, 2 things are happening. One, literally every guest judge they've had is a very recognizable person.
Right.
And then 2, whatever guest judge they have is like absolutely totally game for Drag Race. Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's been really fun to watch. I mean, hopefully that trend will continue,
I hope so too.
I know, it's been a blast to watch, because they're not all like Joel McHale, who you're like, please shut up and leave. So we talked about the Vivian. I'm trying to think if I missed any outfits.
Cheryl's outfit?
Oh my gosh, yeah, I totally forgot about that outfit because so she talks about she was with like, she just had a bodysuit with tubes coming out of it. Oh. And first off, it's like, until she actually mentioned that the tubes were coming out of her stomach, I didn't really get that reference. I just thought it was like a weird spacesuit, because spacesuits also have tubes on them. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I don't know what this is a reference to. Oh, it's a tube coming out of your stomach. Okay. And so if it was supposed to be that, I wish her face would have matched that somehow. Like, she would have shown on her face somehow, like, that she was having...
I didn't see a concept.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It was just like, she did her normal, like, I'm pretty face makeup, and then she was like, but now I have something disgusting, like gut tubes. And I was like, okay, well, why does your face look so, like, pleasant and happy if you're having your guts sucked out
That's
of your
debatable.
tubes?
I just want her to do well. I really do like Cheryl.
Good.
You might disagree. That's totally fine.
Totally fine.
No, I like her.
I like her too.
I like everybody.
I like that she improved to an extent in this episode. Debatable, right? But I'm just saying it. Like, I want her to do well. I feel like she's out next. If that makes you happy.
I don't want to see anybody go home. It would never make me happy.
This is Derek Barry.
Unless it's Derek Barry.
Well, I do think Cheryl's...
Valentina.
I think Cheryl's outfit was better than Bagga's. I'll say that, because I thought
everybody's outfit
was the worst. That's the thing.
Bagga's outfit was her made from the first episode outfit.
Right? It looked like a unconventional challenge look.
Yeah.
No, that's the thing. I know we're not supposed to be so hard on them because the UK drag is a different world, and but also we have to keep in mind this. We want to see good looks too, and I feel like Bag is such a great entertainer, such a great performer, but I want her to look she doesn't have really good looks. Like she hasn't looking back.
You can have a good look without spending a lot of money.
Right.
So like when you look at Something Wrong with the stamp thing, one of the things that like tickled us so much about it was the like lick me that was written on the it's that level of creativity. So it's not necessarily like
I'm just laughing in the chat. I'm so sorry.
So it's that level of creativity where you're like, ooh, this is something I haven't seen before. And we always talk about how Bob the drag queen won a challenge with like a $10 Amazon outfit. You know, it's that, and that's the thing. It's like there's a level of creativity there, something that somebody hasn't seen before. You know, we've all seen your like French maid as like cyborg costume.
I'm sorry.
But having said that, it's like she obviously won the Maggie Thatcher, or her and Vivian won that, and that was a great challenge. It's like just because we're saying that we didn't like this outfit doesn't mean we're like, oh my God, you're terrible.
Yeah, I just want her to step it up, or just give us some more creative looks, because I remember she did the sponge. Remember the cinnamon roll thing that Jayla hated?
I'm like, Baga, I love you. Item.
I love you, Baga, but I want you to look amazing too on the runway. She's such a great performer. So I just know, just throwing that out there.
So it was Something versus Crystal in the bottom, and I have to say, and then they did Spice Up Your Life, which I love, but I have to say it was so captivating seeing Crystal with all the like weird prosthetic outfit doing Spice Up Your Life as a song. It was so captivating to watch. I was like, I can't turn my eye from this.
Yeah. You mean like a train wreck?
No. It was just. She was commenting on how like, oh, this is not the outfit I would have worn, like had I really like thought it through and known I was gonna be lip syncing to Spice Up Your Life. But it was kind of like anachronistic in a very engaging way to me.
Well, the good thing is that song is so catchy.
I know,
like you have to know
that
the words. You don't even have to practice.
I
feel like it's just so well overdue. I don't think there has been a Spice Girl song yet on Drag Race, which is very sad, but I'm really happy they finally did it. And no excuses for not knowing the words if you didn't know the words. But yeah, it was cool. What do you think? You're so quiet.
Yeah, you're so quiet. I'm like you're shading me about the liking crystals.
No, I mean, it is what it is.
Don't like Crystal. You don't like Cheryl.
No, I don't dislike. I didn't think that she. I don't know. This is strictly my opinion. When you're doing a song, it frustrates me when you're doing a song and how you're performing the song doesn't fit the song. And I felt like what Cheryl was doing had nothing to do with the song. At least Something Wrong was kind of performing the song that she was given. She was performing in a fun, light, upbeat way. She was dancing to the music. I didn't even feel like Cheryl was on beat, or Crystal was on beat to the foreshadowing, was even on beat. I don't know. It just seemed, and again, it could be the outfit she was wearing, but then I feel like even if your outfit isn't going to match what the song is you're doing, then the performance needs to match the song. I personally would have kept Something, but that's me.
I'm sad to see her go.
You know what? I would watch, if they had kept all the queens from the beginning, I would watch a whole season of just all of them being there. I would.
I said that, when I said this before, this reminds me of early seasons of Drag Race, and even the people that I dislike, I have a soft spot for them in some way, and so you genuinely don't want them to go. Like, I remember watching season 2, and I just rewatched it on Hulu, and it was like every time there was a bottom 2, you were like, okay, they deserve to be there, but I don't want you to go. And I'm having that same reaction to this UK season. I do think a lot of it has to do with the fact that these are queens that have been doing drag before Drag Race, and people who are doing drag because of the love of drag, not for doing drag to get on a TV show and to be famous and to make money. There's a huge difference, and I think we all genuinely gravitate towards those people that have been doing it or have a passion for it naturally. You know, I think if we go, even like, you know, even though you tend to like different people than I like, I do have a feel like sometimes it's like the people that, what they said at this, was it on this episode, they said the cream always rises to the top. And it will. And those that know themselves and know what they're doing, you know, as much as I didn't Baga's outfit wasn't fantastic, but I will say this, when she came around the corner, it took me a moment and I went, oh shit, that's Baga. And I liked that. I liked having a moment where I was like, oh, I didn't know that was you. Mm-hmm. Whether it was, and I always put myself in a nightclub. Because you're at the club, you're going to see Baga because she's your friend. You can't wait to see what she's going to come out in. And then she comes out like that and you're like, oh, shut up, girl. That's different. I like that. You know what I mean? So it may not be flawless. It may not be perfect. It may not be covered in rhinestones. It may not be made by the best clothing designer, all that. But she did the best with what she had to. I know I'm kind of contradicting myself too sometimes, but whatever.
Anna in the chat room said something that I agree with. She said this season
go tell Fenton Bailey.
The queens are entertainers first, look queens second. Mm-hmm. And so they're thinking of their main job is to entertain you, which makes for great television. It really
that's
does.
what I'm saying too, is like when you go to a show, like if a girl came out at Mickey's and may have bought a dress or cross dress for less, which I will never put down because this bitch will be there tomorrow. But you come out in something whatever, but then you do a brilliant number. No one's going, yeah, but the dress.
Right.
They're going, she brought the house down.
Yeah.
That was amazing. I never thought to do that. That's why I get so angry when and I get it, it's a runway. I get it. You want to look your best because it's a runway. It's, that whole thing. But at the same time, I have to give credit where credit's due sometimes. So that's all I have to say, and I'm done. I'm going to go home.
I like Diva Views. Shout out to Diva Views, what you said. Where is it? Where did it go? Oh my gosh. Rented costumes and Instagram. Followers do not a queen make. Does not make a queen.
Yeah.
There you go. That's very, very...
Yeah, it's true.
Very true.
So our mirror moment this week was Blue reiterating that she couldn't get married in Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I know we had talked about this earlier because she had said it, I think in the first episode. But it also made me think about how soon in history marriage equality has happened, mm-hmm. because it's only 10 years, not even 10 years ago here, that it was completely allowed over all of the U.S. Now we had different states that had them, and you could travel to that state and get married in that state.
Well, the good news about marriage equality is that we now have divorce equality. So that's good.
I loved what Davina said. I think it's Davina.
Well, I'm allowed to shade myself.
I loved what Davina said because she said, well, as soon as you get that marriage certificate,
the sex stops. It stops in the bedroom.
I loved it.
Yeah.
But wasn't it passed recently that you can get married in Ireland? I don't know.
Ireland, not Northern Ireland.
Ireland, not Northern Ireland. They're
okay.
Two different countries.
See, even that's eye-opening to me. Because I didn't know that, and I think this show's so educational because obviously I said this before that I live in my own little bubble in LA where I feel generally safe, but yeah, it's really cool.
Every once in a while, me and Jackie will walk around Ollie with pins and try to break the bubble. And yes, like Andrew says in the chat room, be sure to like this video.
Yes. Oh, and subscribe, share with your friends and family, educate them as well. Give us the 5-star review on iTunes, right, Jackie?
Yes.
And be shady to us.
Yes.
Just remember, 5 stars, and like I said, subscribe. We are the ESPN of TV Talk, and also spilling the tea. Yeah. So well, we love you guys.
Really quick, our UK term of the week comes from Christian again. Minjin. Am I saying that right? Minji.
What does it mean?
Horrible, gross, disgusting. It's something Alan Carr said about one of the Queen's outfits on the runway. He said Minji. It's Minji.
Oh, well, minges. We know what minge is.
But
like
he
ginger
meant,
minge.
He meant
that's what I was like.
Well, you know what minge is, right?
Yes.
You do know what minge is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Blue got engaged this last week.
Aww.
But didn't they say they weren't going to actually get married, though, until it was legal in Northern Ireland? Didn't she say that?
It's okay. You can come to California.
I mean, that's fine. I'm not
everyone's
putting down the engagement.
Please do.
Gay marriage became legal in North Ireland last Monday.
Oh, okay. Great. Super.
Yeah, because I could have swore I saw Blue tweeted that. She's like, I can get married now. And so, thank you guys in the chat.
Well, thank you for letting us know. Now it's legal.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. This is like news and gossip.
What do you think? Arugula,
Did you guys hear about that?
Oh, is she getting made up for? Well, we can talk about that.
Okay,
in the
sorry.
Next thing. Okay,
Sorry.
Fan of the week is Puckaboo from Europe because the name is cute. I think it's a cute name. Thanks, Puckaboo. What's the quote of the week?
Quote of the week. Okay, I have to put my readers on for this. Sorry, guys. All right, so it's kind of long, but I just thought it was. I just when she said it, I kind of was just like Tony would do 3 snaps. I was like, yes, finally. And I hope that she means what she's saying. It was when they were after the runway when they were all talking before the lip sync for your life, and Davina was talking, and they were cutting her off, and she says, like, now when you're talking over me, I will not normally point that out. I'd let you talk over me. That's not going to happen anymore. If I'm fucking talking, I'm fucking talking. And I kind of like had a moment where I was just like, I hope you mean that. Like, because I do feel like it happens. Like, I think the girls, when they start to realize they need to kind of defend themselves and they need to kind of be outspoken, that's when they do better. And then that's, how you move along in the competition. Mm-hmm. You can't just sit back and let, the Vivian and Baga kind of monopolize the conversation and talk over you and stuff like that. So I don't know. I just kind of was like, wasn't really funny, but I was just like, yes, girl, yes.
No, that's actually a really good, really good quote. And I think she was not only saying that to them, but she's saying it to herself.
Oh, absolutely,
right.
absolutely.
To remind
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Is I hope that she meant that to herself, not necessarily to them. But yeah.
And who is our local queen?
Yes. Well, I'm doing the UK queens for local queen for this season of Drag Race, and I just want to shout out Tace. Oh my gosh, check her out.
Gorgeous.
Beautiful. We haven't seen a whole lot of dancing this season, but she is a dancing queen. Check her out. She is tall. She has the looks, the face, the body, the moves. Please shout out Tace. I would love for you to check her out, her moves, because she's just talented. Gorgeous.
Well, great.
Fashion.
Thank you.
I'll have to
Shout
connect
out
you. I
to
have a
Tace.
good friend in London. Shout out to Glenn. He could probably give you some local queens to shout out. 'Cause
okay.
I think
Yes, please.
Him and his gays go out. I'm sure she's an alcoholic. Sorry, Glenn.
So Mark does a weekly recap of RuPaul. Weekly,
Not recap. News.
Sorry,
News.
weekly news of Drag Race Weekly. Drag Race Week.
See, my job isn't that easy, is it? I have to say that.
Yeah.
I have to say
He has
that
to
every
say it
week.
10 times fast every week. So please check that out. But if you don't know, there is now a celebrity. This is our news and gossip. There is now a celebrity Drag Race. So it's going to be some of the queens you know and love making over celebrities into drag queens. And Meghan McCain is going to be one of them?
No,
I guess?
this is completely different.
Oh.
Nina West and Monet Exchange got a lot of backlash because they were on The View making Megan. It was her birthday, and so
they made
got
her
a lot of
into
backlash.
a drag queen.
Mm-hmm.
They made. I don't think they did. They made her an honorary Rue girl, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh!" There's a lot of controversy about that.
Well,
but the celeb drag race is going to be like Drag U essentially.
Yes. Yeah.
For celebrities.
Exactly.
For celebrities.
Celebrities.
Yes.
Which has also got some controversy because people are saying that, they're going to let celebrities do it, but they won't let non-binary, they won't let women, they won't let trans people do the show, but they're going to let celebrities do it. So that's kind of the other side of the argument for the big announcement. And then just people that are like getting overwhelmed with too much. So,
yeah.
But, that's the nature of the beast. That's how Hollywood works. When one thing sells, we got to do 12 more like it. So,
give it to you on worldofwonder.com.
And also, news and gossip, Drag Race Live in Vegas, January 2020 through August 2020. You can buy your tickets at Ticketmaster.com/Drag Race Vegas.
I gotta go to Vegas.
It was this week's news and gossip on my News Weekly. Just if you wanted more information, you can watch it on my Instagram.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm your host 123 Jackie B. And where can the people find you, Mark?
You can find me on Thursdays on Drag Race News Weekly on the AfterBuzz TV Instagram or YouTube page. I do repost it onto my Instagram, which is Lorraine Love, LORAYNE LOVE.
Yes, you can find me on other after shows here on AfterBuzz TV. I'm Ollie Jedden. Happy Halloween. Follow me at Ollie Jamer on Twitter and Instagram.
Bye.
Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.